welcome to my channel Life with Val. My name is Valencia and I take you guys through my journey of just exploring life, and now it's in London. So on my Instagram I did a little bit of a Q&A because I know that you guys had some questions about just like how things are in London. So I thought this would be like a great idea. Let me answer you guys' questions, and yeah, I have them all here. I did take screenshots, so I'm actually just gonna jump straight into them because I'm scared that my responses are going to be really long. So one of the first ones I got was, how did you afford so much stuff in such a short period of time? I mean, the moving out, the clothes, etc. So remember, with something like this, you definitely need to save up and save up as much as you can. And for me, it started with like the little things, like, okay, I stopped doing my nails once I knew I'm coming here because, well, I can't be spending 600-700 rand a month when I know that literally every cent counts. And then in my video where I did post kind of the admin around moving to London, I also kind of stated that, you know, you just need to look at what is in your contract in terms of whether it's favorable to you or not. And what was nice about my contract was that they did offer us like a potential loan facility. So I also just took that loan because I knew that I probably won't have enough money because I decided so late that I wanted to come to London, and I was like, let me actually make use of the loan. And yeah, that's basically how I afforded it. I guess it's all up to personal preference. Some people also just use a credit card and kind of just use that, but I didn't have like a large credit limit, so I didn't go with that approach. So that's what I. The next question, can you on your video list other expensive things? So some things that were quite expensive is accommodation, being even temporary accommodation. So finding an Airbnb was also quite a challenge because of how expensive it is. And there are a lot of different options. Like, it's not that there aren't options, but then like, I don't know, I just don't like the way they look. So if you're used to a certain standard and you just like nice things, you probably won't get that for like a decent price range. So that's definitely something that was super expensive. Travel wasn't like, just traveling on the tube or the bus is not that expensive. Buying groceries also isn't expensive, but going out is. So someone actually told me that, you know, living in London, meaning going to work, staying home, making your food, is not expensive. But when you want to go out and enjoy and have fun, that's when it becomes expensive. I think those are just kind of the main things I'd highlight for now in terms of things that are expensive. Hey, how did you get a bank account? I heard you need a permanent address, but rent needs a bank account. Okay, cool. So yeah, there are currently two that I know of, digital banks called Revolut and Monzo. They offer you a digital bank account, so it's not like a normal bank account. When I say normal, I mean the traditional sense, like the ones that we're used to. These are just purely online, and they are usually less strict in terms of needing this permanent address before you can open an account. I know of people who actually opened an account before they actually came to the country, so that's what they did. Also see if your current bank offers a bank account in the UK. That's also an option you could use, although it might not be as good. But definitely Revolut, Monzo, they're quite easy and simple to get before you come, and like you set it up and go. They don't ask for a lot. The other banks like Lloyd's, Barclays, forgot the other one. Those types of banks need the permanent address, but if you can get a Monzo, Revolut, you're actually fine. Can we please get your view on how much money is needed when you get to the UK? So, to be honest with you guys, it depends. Okay, number one, this depends on your taste and like your style for things, and also like if you like nice things. But once you're actually in the UK, and let's assume that your accommodation is like sorted and you're not really going out much, you're just kind of staying home, like you're conservative, I feel like you could get away with £500. The reason I say that is because groceries for a week, I feel, could be around £50. Transport as well for a week, probably also around £50 if you are going to like viewings. So if you're very conservative, it could be around £500. But if you want to like go sightseeing and stuff, I definitely say that you need more than £1,000 before you come here. If you don't have accommodation, you definitely need to push it up to £2,000 before you come. But yeah, this is just like me giving an estimate. It's not exact. So in my opinion, the more you have, the better, so that you don't feel as restricted and you don't feel like, I came to a place and I'm just struggling financially. That would be my advice. Yeah, and this person, sorry, I just see now it's a continuation, and yeah, the period between me getting there and getting paid, I definitely actually just push for 2,000 if you can. I know it sounds like, I can't believe I'm saying these numbers, but yeah. How easy is it to find an apartment for one person in terms of cost and accessibility? So apartments here are very expensive, and I do think it's cheaper for you to share. The reason for that is a nice 2-bedroom place could cost above 1,600 to 2,000 pounds. Like, you could get a decent place if you looked. Just the FYI, if you're looking, like, you'll find things on Zoopla and Rightmove, but if you don't make an inquiry or actually call the agent then and there, the property might not even be available anymore. Like, properties go so fast. So if you are, like, let's say you're moving to London, only look for property like the day one that you land and arrange them ASAP, because they go so quickly. And yeah, I'm going to say it's cheaper to share, because a 1-bedroom apartment is around 1,002 all the way to 1,005 or even 1,006. That just being rent for one person. So if you are looking to live alone, you're definitely paying a lot more than you need to, because remember, there's still bills like water, electricity, Wi-Fi. Some places you pay for heating, and there's also something called council tax. So you pay council tax. It's just like a tax that you pay to the council that you're staying in. I'm not sure about prices just yet, but yeah, so just be aware that if you see 1,000 advertised, you're probably not just paying 1,000. Always budget like 200 extra, because 200, even 300 extra, because of all the other costs involved. So it's easy to, like, you can find places, but whether they're nice is a question, and whether it's affordable is another. But if you can share, guys. Let us see. Your opinion of minimum salary, please, for one to consider moving based on the cost of living. So again, very subjective. I don't think I'm probably in the best place to answer this, but if, let's say, you are sharing an apartment, and like I said, your food, let's say, is £50 a week, that means 200 a month. Travel 200 a month, that's 400. Let's say rent is 1,000 if you're sharing. I feel like if you're earning at least 2,000 a month, you would actually be good, because you can cover bills, you can probably go out, maybe buy some things. So in my opinion, to be comfortable here, I would feel like you need more than £2,000 a month. Again, purely my opinion. I don't know if that's sustainable yet. Yeah. Okay, how did you prepare to relocate, and how did you find the job opportunity? So I'm going to answer the second question first. I found the job opportunity through LinkedIn. There were recruiting companies that are actually targeted for CASAs. So if you are looking for opportunities to move abroad, I would definitely recommend using a recruitment agency. I used Gap Talent. There's also something called Blue Recruiting, which you could use, which I feel like, because they're in this specific stream, it made it like you can contact them. But literally, I'm sure you can just search on LinkedIn, either like in your career field. So let's say like finance careers, for example, you can probably find a recruiter through LinkedIn. And what's also cool is when you just put open to work on your LinkedIn, and recruiters only can actually see that option, then they could also potentially reach out to you. But yeah, I found my opportunity through LinkedIn, and I used Gap Talent. So I actually realized I missed the question. I only realized I was editing, but the question was also, how do you prepare to relocate? And I think you need to like prepare mentally that you're making the move, that this is the move that you want to do, because once you're here, like, I feel as though there's no turning back, or rather it's not going to be easy to just be like, this is not for me, I'm going home. I feel like you also just need to make a list of everything you need to do, namely things like, okay, if you're renting an apartment, you need to put in a notice. You need to sell your things, sell your car if you have a car. Also need to inform people that you're leaving, so the community that you have, because obviously they're going to be sad. They are the people that are impacted by what you're doing. But I do feel like this needs a more in-depth video on this topic alone, in terms of, I want to relocate, what do I need to know? But the one thing I'm also going to say is do a lot of research about the place, a lot of research about asking people who have relocated about the experience, doing as much research as you can so that you can start feeling prepared and comfortable with the decision you've made. But I do think I might want to answer this on its own video. Any opportunities for any AGSA currently? So if you work from the AG, I think it is a bit more difficult to come over. From my experience with the recruiters, they've mostly been wanting people from Big Four and like basically fully qualified. So you are just like waiting to sign off, you will be a CASA. That's what happens if you kind of go through recruiters. But I do feel like if you go and apply directly to the company, if you've passed both your boards, I feel like you do actually also stand a fair chance of actually getting over here. But I do think probably don't use a recruiter and just go through the company directly. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna say about that one. Is it possible to work in London auditing firms if you're doing your articles outside the auditing firms? So I think this is kind of linked to the same question. Number one, unfortunately, it does depend on the company you've worked for. But if you have audit experience and you're applying to an audit company, apply to them, number one, directly. I wouldn't recommend going through a recruiter, unless if that recruiter specializes in like letting people or placing people who aren't in the Big Four. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say something else. Apply to the company directly, and I feel like you would still have a fair shot. I do think it might be more challenging, but again, I'm not too sure. But to be honest, if you want to know, I'm going to say just apply. You never know like what could happen. I'm not going to say no to both this question and the AG one. I'm not going to say no, you can't get in, and then there's actually people that have gotten in. So if this is something you're interested in, please apply directly to them. Apply to all the different companies. Like you never know. Like I feel like it's luck. You never know who's gonna like pick you, and it's your lucky day, and yes, we want you, you know. So try not to just be like, oh, because I'm not from the standard Big Four, I won't get it. I don't think that's true. Like I know of people who have gotten in and they aren't in just the Big Four audit firms. Just to clarify, what I'm referring to is PwC, EY, KPMG, and Deloitte. Last question. This is actually a nice one. It's about me. What's your favorite part about London so far? I think I just like that when I'm here, I feel like there's so much opportunity available. Like it's crazy. Like I come here and I feel like anything is possible. And I don't know, for me, I don't know why I never felt like that in South Africa, but I just know that being here, I feel like I can do anything, and like everything feels limitless. Like I'm starting to plan for holidays, and it's like exciting because I have access to these countries because they're right here, because of where I'm at. I also like that people mind their business, although sometimes people can be rude. But I like that they mind your business. I think this is just a preference thing. What else? I also enjoy the diversity. So like I started dance classes, and literally all the girls I hung out with then and there on that first day, we all come from different backgrounds. We all have these different perspectives, and it was so refreshing to just hear everyone's different stories. Like, I don't know, maybe I surrounded myself by people who are the same as me before, but right now it's like we come from, like, it was just, guys, I don't know how to explain it, but just the fact that everyone is so diverse, like, I love it. Like, I really love it. Like, I feel like I have a lot to learn from the different types of people, because that also brings a new perspective. It brings a new way of thinking, and that I must say I appreciate so much about being here. I hope that answers your question. Actually, remember there was also a comment on my previous video. Someone asked me to share the process of finding accommodation. Do you start the process of looking for a place whilst in Saudi or when you get to London? Just to kind of just be a bit clear about this one, because of how quickly things move, I definitely recommend just looking once you are here. Like, you can look before you get here, but then I feel like maybe it's more of just to get a general view of how things are and how things look here, what to expect, potential price ranges, potential areas you might like. But like when it comes to wanting specific places, viewing specific places, definitely get here first. It's also because sometimes the agents want to contact you and it's just easier when you have a UK phone number. So definitely, like, literally once your feet touch the soil, go get yourself a SIM card and then start the process of finding a place to stay. And also just give it time. Like, your first option might not always be available. There's reference checks. It's just a lot to go through. So give yourself like a month. I know it feels long, but give yourself a month to kind of find a place, then put in an offer, and then do reference checks. But also just bear in mind, they don't wait till the end of the month before you have to move in. Like, you could decide on Tuesday, okay, I want the place, but Thursday you could be moving in. Like, that's how fast things move. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that I've answered all your questions. And if you do have more, leave them down below. If you want me to create another platform on Instagram so that you can ask a second round of questions, happy to do that. I hope you all learned something, and I know I'm learning a lot as I go. So I'm more than happy to just share that with you guys. And I don't know, so far from my last video about regretting or potentially regretting London, I want to say I think things are definitely starting to look up. It's actually like, you know, I'm actually enjoying it, but I don't want to say it out loud just yet. But I'm actually, this is good. This is good. Happy with my decision. But yeah, that's all from me today. I will see you guys in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's continue to grow. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.